My name's Scott Hardy. For the past 40 years, I've dedicated my life to the art of Western silver and goldsmithing. Today I want to introduce you and explain one of the highlights of that career. And that is this 28.5 ounce decanter and funnel set. My inspiration for creating this set is the same thing that inspires me to come to my studio and shop daily. And that is to celebrate the cowboy culture of the North American West. This culture, to me, represents strength, fortitude, independence, elegance, and beauty. I try and portray that in each piece I create. The materials I used, again, to create this vision are materials that are dear to my heart, precious metals. For me, they signify the West. So, the body and decoration is mainly constructed from heavy gauge sterling silver. Multiple pounds of heavy gauge sterling silver, I might add. The flower centers are created out of 14 karat yellow gold. They highlight, they bring to life everything they come in contact with. The methods I employed to bring my vision to life drew on every ounce of my 40 years of experience. Of course, you start with pencil and paper. From there, you move to your metals. Everything has to be sawn out. Then, depending on the part, this center here you see was formed, as were the flowers. The spout and gusset are hand rolled. The front and the back were spun. Everything is strengthened and bound together with hand-drawn wire. And everything is soldered together with a handheld torch and silver solder that flows at just a little over 1200 Fahrenheit. With that done, we can move on to the decoration. Decoration is an incredibly important part of the process. It's meant to highlight the architecture of the piece. So of course, you start with paper and pencil as you do with your design. When you're satisfied with what you've achieved there, you take it and glue it straight on to the precious metals. You saw it out, fit it on, solder it in place. When that's achieved, you hand polish the entire pieces. When the polishing process is done, then you start your sculpting. Sculpting is exactly as it sounds. You go in with hand engravers, you create layers, different depths, which creates interest. When your sculpting's done, you bring all that to life with engravers. When the engraving process is finished, as you can see, it's incredibly intense. When it's finished, then you go back and do your final polish. I want to take a second and talk about the lid, the top of the decanter. There's a lot of ways to create your lid. You can make it so it fastens on with threads that are cut right into the material, or you can hand twist threads and put them on. Neither of them were quite what I wanted, and I was searching my mind trying to figure out what's a great way to create that lid that makes it different, that makes it fun to use. And I came upon an idea of an old flask an antique flask that I had bought years ago out of the UK. And its lid was put on with a friction fit. So let me explain for 1 second here. So instead of threads, you literally have 2 tabs that fit into the side of your lid, so that you can simply drop that lid on. You see how easy that goes? It just drops on. And you twist, and inside there it's leveled up so that with friction it seals, it corks, as they say. I thought it was intriguing and fun to use and simple. This is fun. I want to show you the bottom of this. So you can see that this is flat. The decoration on here is called Western Bright Cut Engraving. This technique was developed in the North American West and signifies the cowboy culture of the West. Now, you saw the flowers and scrolls up here were overlaid. So literally the metal is put on and soldered on. Here, it's drawn on and then cut into the material. I also want to point out my signature at the bottom. You probably can't see it, but it says Scott Hardy, gives the date the piece was created, where I'm from, Longview, Alberta, Canada, and then 1 of 1. Also want to point out the logo in the center, TCA. This is the registered trademark of the Traditional Cowboy Arts Association. This is an arts group that I helped found in 1998. It's dedicated to the preservation and perpetuation of the traditional cowboy arts, which are Western silversmithing, bit and spur making, saddle making, and rawhide braiding. This is an elite group of masters, artists, that have come together to pass their trade on, to make sure that it lives. I'm proud to be part of this group. Now that logo can only be used with permission of the TCA at our annual exhibition and sale in Oklahoma City at the National Cowboy Museum. Each piece with that logo is cataloged and has been exhibited at the National Cowboy Museum. That's the only place you'll find the logo. I've been waiting to talk about this, the funnel. It's been sitting here and I'm sure you're wondering, why a funnel? So when I was creating the decanter, you're always thinking, what can make it better? What can bring more pleasure to whoever ends up with it? So a funnel, a nice way to fill it that uncomplicates things. Tall spout, maybe a little hard to pour liquid in. So have a look. This is fun. The funnel, which is created out of sterling silver, overlaid as the rest of it, has the TCA logo there, you can see. It's designed to sit on its own, so it uncomplicates the process of pouring it in, hands-free. When you're done pouring it, it goes back to its home, which is also created out of heavy gauge sterling silver, and you can see on the base, it's all bright cut, Western bright cut engraved, with my logo again, 1 of 1, which it is. The TCA logo's on the side, very important. And it creates this beautiful home for that fun funnel. Fun funnel, isn't that fun? To kind of wrap things up here, there's a couple things I want to say to finish off here. This decanter and funnel took well over 400 man hours to create. Along with that, it took every ounce of my 40 years of experience to bring the vision to reality. Again, I created it to celebrate the North American West, the culture, the unique culture of the North American West. But I also want to point out that it's very important to me that wherever it ends up yours, not mine. Nothing would make me happier than to know that if this goes to a family or a company, it becomes an integral part of that family, which is passed down from generation to generation, to give joy and pleasure to whoever uses it, to celebrate the moments that are important to us in life. That is truly what this is created for. Thanks.